Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, things and its. Welcome back to Stoner Vale. We've hit a healthy 44,000 people. We've now got our residential completed, and we've also got our trumpet interchange in. A couple of rocks around there, but there's the trumpet, nice and big and wide. Traffic doesn't lose any speed through there. We've got plenty of oil cranking. We've finally joined the monorail up. So last time we didn't have this hooked up. We've now got the connection, and I just decided to run it around the trumpet just for a little bit of visual effect when you've got the overhead camera and it's doing its fly around on its own. We've got a station in the industry area here, which is all oil, and we've also got the connection through the ore area. We've got a nice little suburb put in here with a hospital, and we've run it around the coastline. We dug it down, and this station here has an underground connection to it for the metro. Oops, let's just click on the track. So it hooks in underground there. We haven't taken it any further yet. That's the end of the line for now. So that's all hooked up. We've now gone across the river as well. We've completed this little suburb too. So all that's left in there is the remaining ore that's in the ground, and it's almost depleted here. So when this section here gets done, I'll be able to continue the housing right through. Same as that bit up there. And we've got a lavish little rich kind of area through here. The freeway's working unbelievable. It now goes across the river. We've got our extensions that go straight into the rail cargo. I've got 4 rail cargoes. I've got one right here in the northeast. I've got one in the southeast. And across the river here, we'll have one in the southwest, and we've got one in the northwest. So what that does is, all the businesses drop it off in the rail, and the rail will move it around to these other cargo areas where they either take it out of the city and export it, or they move freight around to each of these 4, which means 90% less heavy trucks on the road, which means your traffic will be absolutely free. So 92%, I usually fluctuate sort of 92 to 94. I have no traffic jams. I've got a nice cycle highway that runs right through all here. I don't like them trees hanging over, I'll fix them up later. And a new collector put through this way. We've got the theatre. All the rail lines are now completed across, so we've got our individual lines. It's all spread out nice and wide. We've dug down under here, kept these rail lines really smooth. They can get out of the city that way, and they can head further southwest, or they can go south, or they can come up here through north. Still individual lines. All the high dense areas over here, we've got offices. This one's a hotel, a hospital. Well, it could be a hotel, I guess. But that one actually belongs with the European area. But I just wanted a different hospital. When you look at that hospital in comparison to these ones, where's my hospital over here? See, this is the European area. The houses are different, the high densities all different, and we've got a hospital just over here. This is the standard hospital. But since this is high density over here, I decided to put the European one in, and kind of suits the high density more. We've continued the monorail link as usual, like we normally do. I'm just going to flick this bin on, and that'll save them any grief. We've got a little bit over here. I'm going to do, because I'm emptying that one out, I'll turn that one on, and I'll trick the game by emptying both of my bins over here. Touristy area is all been fixed up, no more floods. I do want to shallow that down a little bit more, but every time you touch the water it tends to destroy it, and you just get inundated with floods. Our little beach is back, so the trees are starting to come back to life again, because we were just getting flooded everywhere. I actually extended this headland out, and the further I came out the worse it got, and I just had tidal waves just crashing through, but we managed to fix it up. The ferry line's now on and complete, and we run straight over here, and this one's down nice and low as well. So you've got to, if you put them down without digging down, the game has it sitting so high in the air, it's just an epitome to look at. So this is all our high density. These ones are unrestricted, which is why they've built so high. The ones behind them are unrestricted, but everything in front of these tall ones, they've got high-rise ban on them. So I want it to step up from low to medium to mid tall and then maximum. So looking at it from this side of the river, we want to see the high density just sitting back just a little bit. We've got a new arterial, well, collector at the moment. It's a 4-lane collector, but it's working as an arterial that runs up through here and goes across the river. Same as the metro now hooks up straight across the river, and it's going to continue through here. This is going to be the city area. We've got a 3-way interconnection here. So that's all working well. That this is the end of my tile here, but that freeway out there used to run right along the edge of this tile and hook up to this one. So I broke them, brought them in, and hooked it up with my my trumpet, which runs here, and now we've got a 3-way interconnection. And I'm just in the process now of I've put dumbbells in here. I don't know, that's just taken up too much room of this tile, so I'm going to chop them off. I'm going to bring the dumbbells in a lot closer. But this is the main city area, all what we're looking at now. This is going to be all the highest, tallest buildings, and it's a little bit of a struggle to find gaps under these pillars, so I'm constantly shuffling the road around. But as you can see, everything's super duper smooth, running well. So that's where we're up to. We're up to the main city now, and all these really tall buildings is what we'll be chasing. So in comparison, the tallest buildings I have now are only half the size of that. So we're going to make a nice skyline through this area here, and I want to keep them nice and close to the freeways, so you know, when the game does its flyover, it should look fairly good. I've also put another collector in here. I just got to put a little nice easy turn on this road here, but it doesn't want to play nicely with me at the moment, so I've just left it alone. That brings us into here with the arena and all the hillbillies down here. So these guys have got more connections, and yeah, I'd say the build's going pretty good. I'm really happy with the traffic. My last video I mentioned, see, we're up to 93 again now. I mentioned policies in my last video, and I don't use them. I've put high-tech housing on in some areas. That's just to boost the land value, and with boosted land value, this really light green stuff, your tax goes through the roof. So your tax income, you gain a lot of tax income. And always the waterways are always usually like really high land values, so, and anywhere near the water. anywhere near public transport, schools, hospitals, universities, clinics, police stations, fire stations, anything of services except garbage, except the waste bins. We'll bring that along. So I've put only that policy on. I can't take it off now. If I do, they'll all whinge of depleted land value, so that's on there for good. So we just got a little mix of office and commercial in here. I'm just sucking out a little bit of oil that's here. There's, as you can see, the ground, this is all oil, built on oil. All of this whole area here, all this high density, they're sitting on oil. So I'm slowly just going to knock some of them on the head and just continue getting the oil out of it, but it'll end up being back to residential. And after a short period of time, all the ore, which is this dark colour, this was oil in here, and as you can see, it all turns back to green after a little bit of time in game. So that's when you can start putting down more residential in there. But yeah, the build's going real good. Let's have a look at I got a lot of comments about the rail system and the metros and that. As you can see, they're running top notch. There's plenty of room there. Same as the subway, that's only a one stopper. Trains, incredibly running very smooth all the way around, freight trains as well. The ferries did get inundated with so many people wanting to use them, but because I had the prefer, well, my headset's not broken anymore. I had preferred use of this area through the coastline, and this whole area here prefer ferries. So instead of getting trains and monorails around through the city, first option would be to go down to the ferry line and use the ferries. But we just got choked up with too many people, so I had to change that back just to normal. So now we've got normal people just getting the ferry, just mainly out of towners and tourism, stuff like that. Our metro links, our monorail's kicking butt, just doing really well. It's a busy line, this one. 771. We were running 1,016. Well, we've got a little bit of flood going on here. Let's take that roadway away, and that'll fix that up. And we should be fine from there. You've got to be real careful whenever you do any landscaping or any of that sort of stuff, especially on the water edge. This game will just make everything crazy when it comes to the water. Every time you adjust it, you'll get a little flood. Like this'll just get a little flood in it, but then it should dissipate and go away. So yeah, this side of the city we've just put down. I'm not going to keep this here, but this is a mixed area. Also, I like to put commercial and I like to mix commercial and generic industry together. It's just not far for the trucks to take them to the shop, and it's not far for incoming goods to come straight to the industry, which then they turn into product that then goes to be sold to the commercial. So it seems to work rather well. The offices are just to fill in the areas. I can't keep up with the demand for commercial and industry, even though my unemployment rate, well, it's gone to 10 now, but my unemployment rate has been sitting pretty low, and the demand bars have been up really high. So this cargo over here, the northwest, runs off on a single line, one way. So they come in this way and then they wrap around and then they exit out, and they don't cross each other's paths. So it doesn't matter how much rail they want to send in, it'll never get choked up. And my trains use the left line, and also the left line continues on through here to the end of this tile. When I buy the back there, I'll continue the dual lines through, and as we're looking at it here, all the rail on the right is all industry rail, and that runs right the way through the entire city. So I've got another ferry line to go here. I'm going to bring another rail, like train and metro interconnection, which I'm going to hook up to bring people in from outside, so tourists can meet up here, and they'll have the metro and the train and monorail to skip down through the guts of it here and hook up with this one here. So yeah, we're getting onto the office area here now, and these dumbbells, I'm going to make them smaller, going to bring them in nice and close and save a fair bit of room, because the city's going to take a lot of room here. And the reason it's there is when you come in from the north looking south, those mountains you see in the back there, I want my city to sit just on this side of it, so my least tallest building will be about here, and then you'll still see that in the background. It should look fairly good, so I want them on a slight angle, like this angle that we're running across here now, and that's the way I'm going to do it. So yeah, trains, ferries, monorail, metro, they're all absolutely kicking butt. Very stoked. We'll go on a quick train ride and then we'll call it a video. So let's go 2 times the speed. And lots of bridges, lots and lots of bridges. I enjoy that, overs and unders, digging down, bringing these roads through. Like, that was a very difficult area to build, and I ended up managing to get it super duper smooth and straight. Come on train, here we go. Another one crossing the bridge. I just love the look of that. Trains going over and under, monorail in the background crossing through. And yeah, the whole lines are working really, really, really good. I took the express train away and I decided to make both ways all stops. So I dropped one train line, and the yellow train line's no longer here. I had one that would go straight from the residential city side, which is i.e. the east, came first stop here. And these dudes ain't quite used to it yet, and they would express back. But I took that away because I decided to make them all stations. The secret to trains, if we open up areas, you have one train station per square and no more. Alright, no more. Otherwise they're too close together, and the trains, you just treat them as metros. Alright, so we've got one train station in this square, another train station in this square, we've skipped that square, and we've got one here. Same as this side, we've got only the one train line here. So we can stop the train over here, which we're going to do. We're going to bring the line in and put one here. So I'll have 4 train stations over 8 tiles. Over 6 tiles, sorry. 4 train stations over 6 tiles. So yeah, the build's going really good. Just a little bit of a magic flyover. I don't like grids. I hate grids. Alright. Sometimes you have to do it like this. They're boring. Very, very boring. This was my starting square, so it's obviously a grid. But as you get out to the burbs, you can start doing some more realistic kind of suburbs, and it's just more appealing on the eye. It's more realistic. You've got some nice winding roads, especially collectors. I don't see the point in making a collector just run from there to there and that's it. You may as well just have a single lane road. So wherever I've got collectors, they always have a meaning and a purpose. I.e., first of all, they're to hook everything up, so suburbs and towns all hook up together and take you to a main arterial. I was going to run that through to this one, but I found that the traffic because there's a bit of industry here. Not much, just a bit, but the traffic was going crazy, so I broke that connection through there. So your collectors, your arterials, they need a reason, they need a purpose. Not just there just to take a lot of traffic. That traffic's on it for a reason and it needs to go somewhere. So these ones, for instance, hook up to the freeway. And the benefit of the freeway is it's also going to be the city area. So if they come down here, they're either going into the city, or they're coming down to get on and off the freeway, or they're coming over here for leisure. And that's all. Just put a little bit of thought into why you've got collectors. And it's not because you've got a lot of traffic in the area you need bigger roads. It's because that traffic is heading somewhere and it needs the collector to handle the amount of traffic that's on it. So it needs a destination. It needs point A to point B uninterrupted. And the biggest thing is, don't ever build on them. Don't build any businesses, unless they're offices, I guess, but I don't even do that generally. Don't build any businesses on your collectors or your arterials, and they'll run smooth. For the most part, they'll run smooth and free. Okay, this is residential area, so you can, where's my collector? There. So being residential area, and these have got HTB, which is heavy traffic ban. All right, you can build on your collectors. All right, through residential areas, you can build on your collectors, no problems. But once you start opening it up and using commercial vehicles, allowing them through, and trucks and stuff, you're going to have problems. So don't build on your collectors unless they're designated to run through the suburbs. So like that one hooks this suburb up, it hooks this suburb up, it hooks the high density suburb up, and takes us out here to the roundabout, which then hooks us on to the rest of these guys, as well as a couple of small little flyover bridges and bicycle lanes that go over there that hook them up. So these little things are good. They dissipate traffic. Otherwise all the traffic would be coming out this collector, choking this roundabout, choking that roundabout, choking this overpass, just to come into here, when the easy fix was just put a dual lane road straight across the collector, and they've got that access that they needed. You don't have to do one every 10 blocks. You just need to give them access, and the roads that you give them access to have to lead somewhere. This leads straight to the university, straight to the hospital, straight to the library, and the police and fire stations. All right, so it has a meaning, it has a purpose of why that's there. And if you think about it that way, then your traffic's going to work. This one goes straight to the library and the metro link, the monorail link, and this one goes down to the hospital and that. So there's a reason why they're there, not just to dissipate traffic. They have to go somewhere. So I hope those tips help, and yeah, we've got a little bit of a death wave going on at the moment. Nothing to be too perturbed about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, things and its, we shall see you on the next one.